132. After a lot of hype and a little bit of trash talking, the Celtics went into Milwaukee for Game 3 and it didn't go as planned. Mannix and Kyle Draper break down the Bucks' 116-92 drubbing of the Celtics, and we hear from Brad Stevens. 5:15. Coming off his best performance of the series and looking to finish the Maple Leafs off in Game 5, Tuukka Rask has us wondering how he'll perform in the later rounds in the playoffs. Joe Haggerty joins Michael Holley and Trenni Kusnierek look back at Tuukka's playoff history and discuss. 10:24. The Red Sox are possibly the best team in baseball right now, but do they have the best player in the game in Mookie Betts? Gary Tanguay, Michael Holley and Trenni Kusnierek debate whether or not Betts is in Mike Trout territory and what kind of impact he can have on the sport. Click here to subscribe to the NBC Sports Boston Breakfast Pod. Embed less than iframe src equals https://ard19.com/shows/4018-FIBA/457-48F1-9F1F-93628F1-3B5427718-313-499F3-F49156828/embed style equals width 100%, height 200px, border 0 none, scrolling equals no, greater than less than, iframe greater than, embed. Milwaukee, the Boston Celtics have had their share of offensive clunkers this season. Few were as painfully woeful as what transpired in the first half of Boston's 116-92 Game 3 loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. Boston now has a 2-1 lead in the best-of-7 series with Game 4 in Milwaukee on Sunday and Game 5 back in Boston on Tuesday. "I didn't think we were great, but offensively we were horrendous in the first half," said Celtics head coach Brad Stevens. "We were on our heels the whole time. More, Blakely stars, studs, and duds from C's Bucks." Boston found itself in a 16-6 ditch to start the game, and it didn't get much better from there. Milwaukee shot 55% from the field in the first quarter, but the killer for Boston in the first was their 2 for 19, 10.5% shooting from the field, which put the Celtics in a 27-12 hole after one quarter of play. Offensive struggles are nothing new for Boston, which shot 45% from the field in the regular season, which ranked 23rd in the NBA. They haven't been much better in the playoffs, connecting on just 45.1% of their shots, which ranks 9th among the 16 teams in the playoffs. Things got better offensively for Boston in the second quarter and they wound up shooting a respectable 50%, 10 for 20, from the field, but it still wasn't enough to keep pace with the Bucks, who connected on 63.2%, 12 for 19, of their shots in the second quarter, which pushed their halftime lead to 58-35. "We got in a hole. This is new for our groups," said Al Horford. "It's the first time we've gone on the road in the playoffs in a tough environment. We did some good things there, but at that point, they had it going. Give them credit. They had it going, and we really didn't have an answer for them tonight. And that, more than anything else, should be a major concern for the Celtics heading into Game 4 on Sunday. If they're not getting more stops defensively, their offense has to be more efficient, more impactful than what we saw in Game 3 if the Celtics are to continue to remain in control. They did what they had to do out there." Boston's Marcus Morris told NBC Sports Boston. "They were the more desperate team. They did what they had to do. We'll see them on Sunday." Milwaukee, here are the stars, studs, and duds from Boston's 116-92 Game 3 loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. More, Stevens, "We were on our heels the whole time." Stars Chris Middleton, "It was yet another impactful, highly efficient game for Middleton. He led all scorers with 23 points on 10 for 17 shooting, along with 8 rebounds and 7 assists." Giannis Antetokounmpo, "He was still a central figure in Milwaukee's scoring, but the Bucks weren't nearly as dependent on him to carry the scoring load in Game 3. That said, Antetokounmpo still finished with a strong 19-point, 5-rebound, 5-assist performance." Al Horford, "Horford had 16 points on 7 for 13 shooting, but didn't get much help from his teammates, who were a combined 25 for 67, 37.3%. Studs Thon Maker, a seldom-used reserve in Games 1 and 2, Maker was a true difference maker for the Bucks. In addition to scoring 14 points, he also grabbed 5 rebounds and tallied 5 blocked shots." Eric Bledsoe, "Give Bledsoe credit. He said he would be better back in Milwaukee, and he backed it up with a strong performance. He had 17 points on 8 for 13 shooting." Bucks bench, the play of Thon Maker stood out, but he wasn't the only Milwaukee backup to step up with a strong Game 3 performance. Matthew Dellavedova 5 points, and Jabari Parker 17 points on 7 for 12 shooting, were part of a Bucks bench that outscored Boston's second unit 50-34. Aaron Baines played 30 minutes and made the most of his opportunities to score, tallying 8 points on 3 for 3 shooting. He made both of his three-point attempts, along with grabbing 8 rebounds. As Terry Rozier, we haven't seen Terry Rozier struggle like we did in Game 3 in quite some time. Rozier, who came in averaging 23 points after the first 2 games, had just 9 points on 2 for 7 shooting in Game 3. More significant was Rozier's 5 turnovers. He had 0 in Games 1 and 2. Marcus Morris, Milwaukee did a much better limiting Marcus Morris, who was a major matchup in Games 1 and 2. In Friday's Game 3 matchup, Morris had just 7 points on 2 for 8 shooting.